Hi, my name is Kirsten, and this is a recipe video for how to make that liver concoction from my recipe post TLC for rescued dogs. Um, to make this recipe, you're going to need some beef liver. I'm going to click my little camera over here. You're going to need some beef liver, and you're going to need some rice. I get my liver locally. When I lived in Ohio, we got part of a cow. Here I am in Minnesota, picked it up at the University of Minnesota's meat shop. But a liver, it's about a pound. That'd work for you. And then rice, liver, rice, and water. Honestly, that's all you need. And then we'll click over here, liver, rice, water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the liver into the water, and we're going to let it kind of poach or gently simmer for the next 15-20 minutes. This liver is nicely cut into smaller pieces for me. Let me kind of set this over here. All right, let you kind of sit there, get yourself poaching. Gotta wash my hands. Okay, so we're gonna let this liver simmer in the water for a while. And the rice that you can use, honestly, any cooked rice that you have in your household. This is sticky rice, sushi rice, because that's what we have. And FYI, if you are a person who makes rice, we have a rice cooker and we make pots of rice at a time. And you can just make a little patty of leftover rice, wrap it up in plastic, put it in a Ziploc baggie. Probably beeswax would work if you're freezing it. I don't know. But wrap it up in a patty and you can freeze it for a period of time. The thinner you have it, the quicker it thaws. Thaw it on the countertop, thaw it in the microwave, whatever you need. And then the other thing that you will need is a food processor, a food chopper, even a blender. And Vincent is like, hello, I know something's going on. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you smelled that. Atta boy. So even though I have this recipe for Robert Barker, it's also going to benefit our other dogs because everybody likes a good recipe. You're going to need a blender, a food chopper, a food processor, something like that. Those are all the items you need. So what you're going to do, simmer the liver in water, and then after about 15-20 minutes, when it's fully cooked, you transfer it over to your food processor, food chopper, blitz it up a little bit till the pieces are small, add a little bit of poaching water just to kind of help it flow, and then add in 2 cups of cooked rice. So about a pound of liver, 2 cups of cooked rice, mix that all up together, and you've got a paste. It's really simple and stores easily in the fridge for a couple of weeks. Stores easily in the fridge for about a week. Good if you need to like hide your gabapentin in for your dog so that your dog can get the pain pills they need. And this is probably where I will intersperse some video of Robert in there recovering from his recent amputation. So yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. So I'm gonna cut away. We'll go to Robert and then I'll come back and this should be cooked. Okay, so this is simmered for about 15 minutes-ish. And I know that it's cooked. I'm gonna hit off. I know that it's cooked because it's firm. The pieces are firm. If you're, thinking about touching, it feels like touching your forehead. It's firm, they're fully cooked. So I'm gonna let that cool for a little bit and before I transfer it to the food chopper. And while I'm letting it cool, I wanted to also talk to you about other things that you can cook for boosting the nutrition for your dogs when your dogs need a little TLC. This is, and I don't know, I'm going to pour it into something glass so you can see. This is some chicken jelly. And I made this by putting a package of chicken wings, whole wings, into an Instant Pot with a couple of cups of water. And I pressure cooked it for about an hour at high pressure and allowed the pressure to naturally pressure release, which was, I don't know, like 20 minutes or something. And after doing that, I end up with this viscous liquid, which is pretty, there's a little bit of fat in there, but it's pretty gooey, pretty jelly-like. Not your average chicken broth. Getting lumpier as it goes down towards the bottom, which is pretty yummy for the dogs. They love this. There you go. So I'll just make up a thing of chicken jelly. With chicken wings are the best, I think, because there's a lot of cartilage in the wings compared to a thigh or something. So you can really extract that, and after it's pressure cooked for an hour or so, you just literally pull the bones out and deal with them. A lot of times the bones are pretty crumbly too. I'm a little hesitant to give that to a dog, some crumpled bones, just in case there might be a bit of tight or pokey parts. But you know, if you want to crumble up the bones and maybe even run them through a food chopper to make sure they're crumbled, you do you. But you know, chicken jelly, something like this is really yummy for dogs. Put that back in. And just gives a little bit extra flavor, can entice them to eat. Vincent, would you like that? Can entice them to eat food when they don't feel like eating food. Although chicken jelly is not going to hide your pills if you're trying to hide pills. You can also, in addition to pulling out the bones, then you can have a container of the chicken, like I've got right here. A little bit of extra, you'll have the chicken meat, which you can put on top. And this has just been cooked in water under pressure, so it's totally easily digestible. There you go, Molly. You know, just it's kind of a win-win, and whole chicken wings are reasonably inexpensive, so that's a good one to do. All right, I've told you about chicken and chicken jelly. Good. So let me move this over. We'll switch cams and move this over to chop cam and put in a little bit of stuff. Right. I'm gonna kind of blitz this up one piece at a time, just so I don't overwhelm my machine. Let's see how that goes. Goes just fine. All right. Speed through the rest of this. Okay. So I've pretty much pulverized the liver, and now I'm going to add a little bit of cooking water to kind of turn it into a paste. And then I will also add the rice. And I probably do not need a hot thing. This is the first time I'm using this induction cooktop. So I'm curious how it goes. So far, so good. Pull that around to make a paste. Nice. And then we put in the rice. I came up with this recipe because I was buying fancy canned food for Robert Barker and thinking, gosh, you know, I've got all this beef liver in the freezer. I could just kind of turn that into the food, you know, because we weren't really eating it. And that was a good idea. He liked it. His coat flourished. It was a win-win for everybody. So when I knew that he was going to have an amputation actually today, he was being amputated. I'm like, okay. So you meat shop is open. Let's go pick up some liver and see about making that liver concoction for Robert. A little more water. Put in all the stuff. And a couple more chunks. This would be easier if the rice was thawed, but hadn't thought that far. Hadn't thought that far. I wanted to get this done. Okay. And a couple more pulses. And there you have it. It's liver, that liver concoction. Boom. Pretty easy to do. And your dogs will love it. If you wanted to eat this, I would add a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, kind of break it down. But it is nice the way it is and good for dogs. And now I will go get the dogs over and see if I can get a video of everybody enjoying it. Oh, it's a good boy. Very nice, yes. That's a good boy. Thank you. I didn't get the thing. Hi, my name is Kirsten, and this recipe video is how to make that liver concoction, which is from my recipe post TLC for Rescued Dogs, which is all about when we got Robert Parker in our family. And so to make this recipe, which is really good for dogs who need a little more nutrition, a little more support. It's really good for dogs needing a gentle diet, something easy on their tummy. It's good for, I mean, people could eat it too. Sure, why not? If you like liver, I mean, it's certainly not gonna hurt you. But it's just kind of a way to add to kibble or add to whatever your other diet is in a way that you can do at home without having a whole lot of hassle, I think. And I'm not, also a disclaimer that I'm talking too much.